I had a chat with a friend, Stuart, who was working at the Copperworks at the time, and he had these amazing little crucibles, beautiful little, really like objet d'art really, which inspired me to make something that would kind of reflect that, but something a little bit different that people could get involved with as well.
Currently on the site of the Havard-Morva Copperworks. During the late 19th century and early 20th century, this part of Swansea was providing 90% of the world's copper. John Weaver Construction are here building Penderyn Whisky's new distillery.
The kind of skills we need is the heritage background and experience, stonemasonry skills, knowing really how to tread carefully on a project like this. It's very sensitive. You must consider the history of it.
Swansea University really owes its origins to this site. The land that Singleton campus was based on was donated by the families that ran the Copperworks around here. Two of the founding departments were chemistry and metallurgy. They were brought in to support the process evolutions and the chemical processes that were being developed here with that academic expertise. But we've still got a lot of steel industry and a nickel industry in the local region. Their processes are being supported by academics in the university, as are their strives to become more environmentally sound.
One of the exciting discoveries we made was the original laboratory building. You can just make out the gable wall of the building here, and so at some point between 1924 and around about 1940, the lab building is brought down. And what you can see behind me in the stratigraphy is that process laid out. You can see the very, very big sweeping tip lines as they pulled the building over. We uncovered lots and lots of artifacts from the building itself. We've also got the Assaying Couples here. These were very, very important. These were used in each process of the 12 processes of the Welsh method. These were very common. These were brought in great numbers because they were obviously a single-use item. They're a ceramic dish that's not glazed on the outside, but is glazed on the inside, obviously, to create impermeable barrier. And then small samples were taken from the reverberatory furnaces at each stage. So a small sample of copper would have been taken in here, and then that can be taken back to the lab for testing to make sure that the metallurgical consistency is correct for that stage. So at each stage they could have absolute control over the whole Welsh process of making copper.
So using art to tell this kind of story, to engage people with the chemistry, to engage people with the history, it's like the Crucible really, of bringing those things together and getting people excited, and it becomes alive for them. It's no longer, in a lecture theatre or in a kind of chemistry lab. It's actually there in front of them. You can see what's going on.
And what we're going to do is pass a current through the two carbon rods inside our copper solution, and what will hopefully happen is one side will start to get coated with copper.
I think it's incredibly important for our members to have lots of different opportunities to engage with, in addition to learning a variety of new skills, having the chance to be really creative.
I'm an artist, so I've come here to make the crucibles, and not only like the science behind it and the history, and the archaeology. I like archaeology as well, and it's all part of the history of Swansea. I like the story behind how something is made.
When we think of South Wales in the Industrial Revolution, we tend to think of heavy industry, but in fact it was innovations in chemical science that really took this place on. And what was going on in these crucibles here in Swansea back in the 19th and early 20th century, really this was where the modern city of Swansea was born. And the city really at this point owes its origins to the copper industry, and the great thing is that we're starting to rediscover that copper heritage. This project's been fantastic for bringing it to life. These fantastic little replica crucibles have been a wonderful thing to be a part of.
Kind of think of it as a little bit of the beginning of the communication age, in the same way that the Industrial Revolution and iron and stuff, the fact that we use copper for a lot of communication and stuff. I think there's a real story there, and Swansea was at the heart of this. Like, Swansea was the place.
And this is why this site is so important. We hope to learn more about the metallurgical processes and how they made Swansea the industrial powerhouse that it was.